Hey everybody, Hat Creature here. Another episode of the Book of Boba Fett has launched. I'm a little late with this review because I didn't actually know when the next episode was going to come out. For like a while now, I've been like, so when's the next episode coming out? I don't know. Maybe I should look. Nah. So, I apologize for being tardy. Uh, so, no images this time. Unlike the last review, I gave you like a slideshow of basically everything that happened. Can't do that this time because the way I did it last time isn't available. I probably have to wait one more day to make the review in order to do that again. Yeah. Disney Plus doesn't allow screen capture. So, obviously, I didn't get those screens from Disney Plus. Anyway, so the review for this episode, as you can see from the cover, is that it is way better. It is drastically better. Like everything about episode 2 surpasses episode 1. I would go so far as to say that they made a huge mistake by making the first episode so short, because this second episode is mostly flashbacks to when Boba was with the Tuscan Raiders, and very little of it is actually in the present. So let's go over that. And yes, on the thumbnail you do see Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I will get into that. And yes, there is an evil Wookiee, whatever that means. We'll get into that as well. So thanks to this article. So this episode starts off with Boba and Krennic at their palace interrogating the assassin who tried to kill Boba in the first episode. So they interrogate him, and I was thinking, oh, well, Boba's just going to be a pushover. He's just going to lock him in a room and forget about him. And Krennic was the badass, as always. But that's not exactly what happened. So they do end up getting information from the assassin by scaring the hell out of him in actually a really humorous scene, because this does take place after The Last Jedi. And I'm not going to spoil that scene, but yeah. I highly suggest watching the second episode. But after they get the information, they find out that the mayor, of course, hired the assassin to take out Boba Fett. So Boba Fett and Krennic and his two Gamorrean guards walk over to the mayor's house, and they bring the assassin with them. So the mayor... Now, you might trust the mayor, you might not. The mayor says that he didn't hire the assassin. And he says, perhaps you should go to this bar, and you'll find more information there. So, long story short, it's possible that the mayor didn't actually send the assassin, but instead, Jabba the Hutt's cousin sent the assassin. See, Tatooine is supposed to be Hutt territory. And Jabba's dead, but he's not the only Hutt. He has two cousins, the twins. So it looks like the main villain of this series, or the season anyway, will be the Hutt twins, who've come to claim Jabba's territory back into the family. And those are going to be, looks like, the main antagonists. The secondary antagonist is actually going to be this Wookiee right here. This is a mercenary. And the reason that I have Obi-Wan on the cover is because of this mercenary. Apparently, this is another character possibly from Legends, I believe. But the story behind this Wookiee mercenary that's working for the Hutts is that he was actually hired to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi back when the first Death Star was around. Jabba hired him to take out Obi-Wan when he was living in Sands. They had a gruesome fight, and he got away. But after Obi-Wan had taken his eye. And that was in the comics, or the book. And as you can see here, it's possible he has two eyes. The other eye might be actually right there. Or he might only have one eye. I'm pretty sure he has one eye. And if he has one eye, in a story that takes place after the Obi-Wan Kenobi in the comic books, then that means that we might actually see the fight between Obi-Wan and this Wookiee in the Obi-Wan show that's still coming to Disney Plus, because that's a thing. So we might be seeing him again. Now this takes place after the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, so he might die here, but that doesn't mean that he won't be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and I think that's really cool. When Disney took over Star Wars, they basically took everything everyone loved and said, it doesn't exist anymore. Screw you for liking something we didn't make. And made everything non-canon. But over time, they've slowly been bringing back legacy characters that people enjoy. And making them canon again. Because, these characters are special. They need to be brought back after we killed them. So, yeah, here's another character that's being brought back from the dead, or non-existence. And I think that's great. So, back to the actual review of the episode, and why this episode is so good compared to the first one. So, after Boba Fett finds out that the twins are probably the ones who sent the assassin, the rest of the episode goes back into the past with Boba Fett and the Tuscan Raiders. And I think that actually should be the entire episode 2. Because episode 2 is almost an hour long, while episode 1 was 35 minutes. And most of episode 2 takes place in the past. So I think episode 1 would have actually been really good if they decided to keep the present day scenes in one episode. So if they had the entire first episode, and then continue with interrogating the assassin, and then finding out about the twins all in the first episode, and then end the first episode right there, episode 1 would have been good. All the complaints about Boba Fett being soft wouldn't have been there as much. Maybe they still would have been there, but in total, episode 1 would have been longer, and it would have felt better. So whoever's decision it was to split those scenes into 2 episodes, shame on you for almost ruining your own show. Shame on you. So anyway, the actual episode 2 takes place in the past with the Tuscans, and it's amazing. I'm in love with it. The Tuscans are actually one of my favorite species in Star Wars. I don't remember the full story about Tatooine, but it has a long history where it wasn't a sand planet, and it was actually thriving oceans. And the Jawas and the Tuscans were at war for a very long time. And if I recall correctly, they're actually the same alien species, but they both went underground, and they were at war, and they evolved differently. But if I'm correct, I might have to look it up again, but I'm pretty sure the Jawas and the Tuscans were the same species at the start, before they evolved over time and became 2 different societies. And it's just really fascinating to look over the history like that. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. It was a long time ago, because I wanted to know what a Jawa was. But anyway, so the whole episode is Boba training with the Tuscans and ingratiating himself into the society, into their clan, and it's amazing. They train him how to use their spears and fight with their spears. There's this metal train, this hover train that's speeding through their territory, and every time it zooms in through their territory, it always guns them down. So Boba, being smart, he's like, I'm with these people. These people saved me. I need to pay them back. I'm living with them. They're helping me. I need to help them in order to continue to have good relations. So the rest of the episode is him going out of his way to find this biker gang, kicking their ass and stealing their speeder bikes. And then he trains the Tuscans on how to use those speeder bikes. And then there's this huge, awesome scene where they're all going together and they take out the hover train. It's a great scene. And you really have to watch this episode. because it's so much better. There's action. There's some silent drama because you have no idea what the Tuscans are saying ever because they don't speak English. And Boba Fett actually goes on a spirit journey after he's fully accepted by the Tuscans. After he wins them that train, after he gets them this amazing victory, they give him this spirit journey. And Boba comes back from his journey, and he makes his own spear. And it's like a rite of passage with their people. He gets his own spear, his own stick. And then they garb him in their clothing, and he becomes one of them. And I just have this feeling that we're going to be seeing them more often. I mean, well, if not more often, then we're definitely going to be seeing them later on in the series. Because one thing that Boba's really struggling with is that he doesn't have a lot of manpower. He just has the 2 Gamorrean guards and Krennic. And that's really bad. So I have a feeling that the Tuscans will actually be providing some manpower later on in the series, because there's a lot of them, and they love this man. They respect him, and that respect seems to be what's inspiring Boba to do the same thing for his criminal empire in I'm not gonna try Tatooine. There you go. So I hope to see them more in future episodes in the present day, and maybe they'll help him fight back against the twins. But Krennic actually said that if they're going to be taking out the twins, who's trying to take him out, he's going to need permission. And that's actually a thing with the lore for the Hutts, is the Hutts are a huge criminal empire. Huge. They're all over the place. Now, the Hutts themselves, they're just slugs. They don't move very much. They're spoiled, but they have a lot of manpower and they have a lot of pull in the criminal underworld. There's a lot of them, and even though 2 Hutts are trying to move in on his turf, it doesn't mean that all the Hutts are doing that. It just means that these 2. So he's gonna have to go to the Hutt family and basically ask permission to defend himself, to take them out. Because if he does it without their permission, then all the Hutts and their entire criminal empire will come rain down on him for vengeance, for taking out one of their own that was not sanctioned. So that's what he's probably going to be doing in the 3rd episode. I don't remember what the time frame is. I don't know how long this show is after Return of the Jedi. It could be years. It could be months. It's gotta be at least a year. Gotta be. So I'm actually really hoping we move away from the Tusken Raider flashbacks and move more into the present day, because I think we've gotten everything we need to. I would love to see the scene where he rescues Krennic from the Mandalorian episode. So if we get that in a flashback, that'd be awesome. But overall, we need more present day. And that's great. So I'm excited for episode 2. I encourage you to watch it. I left out a lot. The thing is with these reviews, it's much easier to talk about what's wrong than what's right. It's way easier to talk about something that's negative, something that's a problem, than it is to talk about something that's done right. If it's done right, it's done right. Good job. You did it. That's it. I'm not going to be praising you for doing something right, even though that's what I just did. But when you do something wrong, it's very easy to criticize. So I'm leaving a lot out so that you can watch the episode and enjoy it, because it is a great episode. So that's it. So apparently these come out every Wednesday, but I think this came out last night on Tuesday. So I think that's what I'll be doing. So these will either come out every Wednesday or every Thursday. So thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you watched the show. I'm really excited for the future. And yeah. Thank you, and as always, have a great day.